Well, I am so excited today. I have here Michael Watkins, the Marketing and Communications Manager for Youth Emergency Services. We're going to be talking about a big event coming up in October. And Rebekah Pasqualetto, owner of Vintage Ballroom and Dance, and Dance for a Chance instructor. So thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Well, like I said, we've got this great event coming up. But it is for Youth Emergency Services. I believe this is what year is this? Do you know?
Well, last year we had to cancel, so I think it's the 12th or 13th. I can't remember. I think it's the 12th.
Okay. Well, regardless, this does raise funds for Youth Emergency Services. So, Mike, I'm going to let you just kind of take it away and talk about the mission and what is Youth Emergency Services.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for letting us come on your show, Andy.
Welcome.
Long time knowing you, so I really appreciate this. Youth Emergency Services has been around for more than 45 years. We were founded by a group of concerned parents who noticed some homeless youth in the old market and figured it was time to do something about that. So people often refer to us as Yes House, and that started in Bellevue in 1974. So since then, we've grown quite a bit. We've gone from just being a shelter to, a multifaceted continuum of care. And we provide homeless or services for homeless and near homeless youth ages 12 to up to 24 through our range of our programs. So we help a lot of youth every year, more than 1,000 youth every year.
Yeah. Oh my God. And it's so important. And what the organization does and how it's grown. I think the organization itself has grown. Also, the need has grown in the community. Would you agree with that?
Especially last year with the pandemic, we ran into so many situations with youth who needed somewhere to live because they were either on the street and unsafe or, in precarious situations with their own living situations, and then the pandemic hit and some of them couldn't work anymore, so we helped them with rent assistance and food, and we have a pantry in our street outreach center so they could come in and get food items, and there's just we have so many different services for them.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about Dance for a Chance, because that is the event that's coming up on October 7th.
Right.
And it's being held at the
Omaha Design Center.
That is the last few years.
Right.
I have been honored enough to be a judge for many of those. I remember when it first started. But Rebekah, let's just go to you for a minute, because you've been a participant because you were kind of you were in the media.
Yes. Yeah, so my involvement with Youth Emergency Services actually started 4 years ago. They were looking for more instructors, and we had already opened our ballroom at that point, and we ended up connecting on that level. And we just had so much fun, right? And the homeless youth population that we see in the old market, we're always trying to, assist those kids and get them to where they need to be. And so being in the old market, we see a lot of exactly what Mike is talking about with the homeless youth down there. So being able to help them in a more positive manner is super important and special to us. So we were so excited to be able to jump over and help raise money for Youth Emergency Services.
And so, and your studio, like you said, is in the old market. It's where the Blue Barn, I know a lot of viewers where the Blue Barn used to be before they moved. In the old market, and you said that you moved in there immediately after they moved out and have this dance studio. So have you danced in Dance for a Chance, or are you just okay?
Yeah. So this will be my 3rd year dancing and 4th year as Vintage Ballroom, because we have other instructors as well who are dancing this year.
Got it.
Yeah, and we always love putting choreography for a show together. It's so different compared to teaching a couple how to dance for their wedding or prepping for a ballroom competition. When you can actually choreograph something for a big show like this, you can have a lot more fun because there's less rules, right? When you're doing a ballroom competition, there's all these rules you have to stick to, And when you're performing for a show, those kind of go out the window. As long as it looks good and you're having fun and your partner's having fun and the audience is just constantly amazed, that's what makes it so entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about Dance for a Chance, is that it's a fun, and it's a ballroom competition, because you, as the instructor, so to speak, are paired up with a local celebrity or local, somebody in the business corporate community, and they may know nothing about ballroom dancing, but they just, they said, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to raise money. I support this organization and I want to have fun. And at the end of the day, it is about raising money and also having fun. And it's a great entertainment. It's very entertaining. And so you're the person on the other side that's helping them.
And the competition side, I mean, it is there, right? But it is so much different from what we're used to. We're not competing against people who've danced their whole lives and are more focused about how their foot's getting placed on the floor. The competition's all within everyone who's kind of in the same boat, same level of dance experience often. And it's more like, it's just a more entertaining kind of competition.
Absolutely.
Like what you're going to see on the show Dancing with the Stars, right? Where it's all for show and everyone's there just to be entertained.
Yeah, and the people that are dancing in this year's competition, I mean, they're just doing it again to support the organization, to have fun, to perfection is not the ultimate goal, though showmanship, and it is a competition. I mean, some people take it very seriously, which is why it's so much fun to actually attend this event and go and buy tickets and be a part of it.
Well, and the dancers that are participating, not the instructors, but the dancers, they put in a lot of work, right? They are very much wanting to win the dance challenge, and as well the other side of who can raise the most money. So for them, it's very much a competition, right? But it's a more fun manner. A lot of just jabbing at one another on the dance floor when you're practicing ahead of time, kind of joking about who's going to have a more fun or interesting routine when they're out there. And it's just so entertaining to watch. On my end, I am lucky because I get to see everyone's prep work ahead of time, right? As they're coming in and out of the studio, and then watching them grow to finally seeing them on the big stage. So I get a more behind the scenes look, which I find so fascinating to watch the growth of these dancers.
Well, like, I'm going to turn it back over to you in the last 30 seconds that we have. I mean, where can people go to buy tickets? Because again, this is a great event and people need to be there.
Sure thing. So anybody can go to our website, which is yesomaha.org, and click on the very first screen that you see. That will take you to a page where you can vote for our dancers. The votes are $1 a piece. Or you can also buy tickets. There's also sponsorship information on there. So if you have a business or you work for a business, you think they might want to become a sponsor, there's sponsorship information on there. One thing I wanted to point out, Andy, was this year has a special theme because it's the Roaring 2020s. So hopefully everybody's going to come in costume from that era. And I know the dancers and the instructors have chosen some music from that era, and then each of the dances will also have an element. May not be the entire dance from that era, but they'll have an element of dance from that era. So it should be a very special theme this year, and tickets are available at yesomaha.org.
Yeah. Well, Mike and Rebekah, thank you so much for joining me again. This is a great event. October 7th, Omaha Design Center, great location, and be there or be square. Is that really ridiculous to say? I said it.
Andy, before we leave, I got one more thing really quick.
Yes. Yep.
We also have a virtual element this year. So if people are not feeling safe about being in a crowd right now with the COVID still a thing, you can go onto our website at that same spot and buy a virtual ticket for $25. And then that will allow you to watch. And that's great for some of our dancers have family that aren't local.
Yeah.
They can now, stream it and vote for their dancers, and also buy silent auction, things like that they wouldn't normally be able to do if they weren't in town.
Absolutely. And I love that. I love that component to it. So thanks for mentioning that, Mike.
Sure.
All right, folks, don't go away. We will be right back.